Hey guys, what's up? Murder of Birds here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to my TLDR review where I give you guys my short, sweet, and to the point thoughts and opinions for each chapter of RWBY Volume 5. So this review format is ultimately catered to you guys out there who enjoy my content, my RWBY reactions, my live stream discussions, but probably don't have the amount of hours that are needed to be able to listen to me ramble in those discussions for 2, 3, 4, 5 hours at a time. So for these videos, you can get everything formatted in a timely manner, so be sure to leave your thoughts on the chapter as well as general feedback for this format in the comment section down below. And for this video, we're going to be focusing on the premiere chapter of RWBY Volume 5 Chapter 1, Welcome to Haven, but we're also going to be doing a double whammy as I'm also going to be focusing on the Yang character short, as there were a few points there that I wanted to make in this video as well. So I really hope you guys enjoy. Like I said, leave your ultimate feedback in the comment section, and without further ado, let's jump into it. So the first thing I'll probably say is seeing RWBY featured in the Yang character short was something that I definitely wasn't expecting, and was actually a pleasant surprise, especially since we got the utmost of sisterly bonding between their sparring match.
It was at this moment that
RWBY
knew she fucked up.
It was so cool that with this character short, we got all of Team RWBY featured in their pre-Volume 4 outfits within the Maya engine, which definitely tugged hard on my nostalgia strings, to say the least. And speaking of nostalgia, kudos to the subtle callback to Yang's original artwork and pose when she made her appearance. It's confirmed that this character short takes place before Yang and eventually RWBY leave for Beacon Academy.
I'm gonna be leaving for Beacon soon.
Yet with how close the events seemingly occur, it's unclear if the Yang trailer takes place before or after this moment. It's also been expressed during RWBY's drop into Mountain Glen in Volume 2, as well as her encounter with Mercury in Volume 3, but RWBY and Yang's sparring match made it painfully clear that RWBY is truly useless as a fighter without Crescent Rose. I just cross my fingers and hope that at some point in the future of the series, RWBY becomes a more well-rounded fighter with her semblance, and maybe even her silver eyes if her weapon isn't available. But my favorite part of this short was definitely the reveal of the revamped Ursa Grimm. It seems like the new Ursa design resembles an oversized Wolverine, which is quite refreshing on the whole aesthetic and the feel and nature of the Grimm. They seem a lot more ominous, more sinister, and the new design is definitely complemented by the Maya engine. So far, we've gotten redesigns for the Borbatusk, Ursa, Beowulfs, as well as the Nevermore, so hopefully we'll be able to see more revamped Grimm from earlier volumes within Volume 5. Personally, I'd love to see the Goliath Grimm revamped to resemble more of like woolly mammoths, especially with the extensive details that are available in Maya. And for everyone who's wondering, the song that was actually playing during the Yang character short is called Ignite. An incomplete version is available on YouTube right now with official lyrics, so I highly recommend you guys check out Flint of RWBY Nation's YouTube channel for all of your RWBY music needs. I also want to give major props to Milivette Gonzalez and Kim Newman, two animators who work over at Rooster Teeth, for bringing out the action scene with Yang against the Ursa Grimm. Your soul sacrifices were definitely worth it. So after this character short, a bunch of people were confused by this scene in particular. Quite a few people were confused and made the assumption that because we saw Yang's physical aura, that was an indication that it had been depleted, and thus she shouldn't have been able to use her semblance shortly after. Yang did not lose her semblance, it was merely under heavy fire. There are two cues that work in tandem that indicate when someone has lost their aura. The first cue is when their aura dissipates physically from their body. This was made clear when Mercury lost his aura to Yang during Volume 3, but becomes much clearer with Ren and Nora when combating the Nuclevi Grimm in Volume 4. And the second cue is actually an audio cue, the most common being the sound of one losing their shield or aura. So I would categorize Yang's aura being visible to show how severe the damage she was receiving actually was. Similar to how we saw RWBY's aura when she was taking multiple hits from Tyrion back in Volume 4, and how that damage and pain was used to amplify the semblance for the final blow. But overall, I thought this character short was pretty neat, and it definitely drives the point home that Yang would do anything for her baby sister.
I've always got your back, sis.
And now we move onward to RWBY Volume 5 Chapter 1, Welcome to Haven, and let me just say, out of all of the scenes that we've gotten from RWBY thus far, Haven Academy is by far the most beautiful, especially with the Eastern Asia architecture. I also think a big contribution to the aesthetic has been Rooster Teeth's improved experience with the Autodesk Maya program, because this volume is already looking better than Volume 4. Also wondering if the two towers in the background act as the CCT network for the Kingdom of Mistral, or if that's located elsewhere. Did anyone else notice that somehow Prince Zuko hopped universes into the RWBY series? I mean, seriously, the design and color schemes are uncanny. And I'm pretty sure I'm the only one who thought this, but the dark-skinned chick in the back with the pink hair reminded me of that anime meme show Neo Yokio.
I'll bring her a big Toblerone. I brought you a big Toblerone. You don't deserve this big Toblerone.
So the introduction scene with Leo Lionheart was absolutely hilarious. This whole interaction scene kind of reminds me of the RWBY Chibi skit with Professor Port's birthday.
My heart!
He didn't die.
For crying out loud, you nearly scared me half to death!
Oh my god, the Belladonna family and son are in the first chapter!
And it's gone.
So the maidens act as a key for unlocking these chambers that each contain a relic. Geez, I guess we should have taken what Salem said in Volume 4 literally.
Make no mistake, Cinder. You hold the key to our victory.
I think Ozpin is the wizard from the fairy tale, which would make him a skeleton key to the chamber, since he's the one who gave the maidens their powers. And the relic for Beacon is actually his cane, which is probably why Salem can't find it.
Reinforce our numbers at Beacon. The relic is there.
That would also reinforce why Raven was fishing for Crow to tell her more about the relics when he had Ozpin's cane in his possession.
If you don't know where the relic is, then we have nothing left to talk about.
And it seems like Crow pulled an Ironwood by unknowingly sharing information with the enemy via the headmaster's desk. No doubt Lionheart copied those files to give to Watts due to coercion, but it just sucks that he doesn't stand up against them. I mean, it's like he says this,
but I will do everything I can to help.
But in my head, I'm just thinking this.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god. Stop your fucking lying.
Get it? You know, because he's lying and his name's Lionheart and, you know, he's based off of a lion.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
Fucking kill me right now.
Same, Barb. Same. We interrupt this pre-recorded video to bring you an important public service announcement.
Move, I'm gay.
But jokes aside, it's great that we're finally getting the LGBT representation that the writers confirmed about earlier in the series. I'm sure it'll be expressed further as the show continues, but in the words of Lai Ren,
a sign of progress.
And oh my god, we got the Snow Angel in the first chapter too.
And it's gone.
This W insignia represents Arthur Watts throughout the series. For those of you who don't know, this W was first shown on Cinder's scroll after Ironwood uploaded his scroll to Ozpin's desk. Which, at the time, had been hacked by the Black Queen virus during Volume 2. So wrap your head around this. This leads me to believe that Arthur Watts is responsible for creating the Black Queen virus, which hacked the entire Atlesian army stationed in Beacon, allowed Cinder to rig the Vital Festival matches, allowed Cinder to discover Penny's origin as an android, which led to her rigged match with Pyrrha and subsequently Penny's destruction. Long story short, Watts is ultimately responsible for Penny's death.
No! God, please, no! No!
And, I feel like I just turned every Penny fan against Watts in a matter of seconds. I mean, it was pretty easy. You could almost say it was
elementary, my dear Watson.
Get it? You know, because Watts, and you know, you could put Watts into Watson, and it would make sense almost as if, like, you know what I mean?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Would you guys like to hear the juiciest bit of hypocrisy?
The fact that Jean gets mad when he hears this.
What about Cinder? She came with Emerald and Mercury from Haven. Do you have anything on them?
Nothing but lies and forgeries.
But fails to realize that he's the biggest offender of them all.
I didn't go to combat school, I didn't pass any tests, I didn't earn my spot at this academy. I lied. I got my hands on some fake transcripts, and I lied.
First off, I just want to say I love the amount of references and callbacks sprinkled throughout Yang's scene here. The first of which is the bartender, who's kind of like a nice version of Junior from the Yellow trailer.
Aren't you a little young to be drinking?
Aren't you a little young to be in this club, Blondie?
And we get another scene referencing Goldilocks too.
Not too bulky, not too lean, you're
just right. Yep. Like I said, I'm good.
Now, before speculations get out of hand, the random bandit-looking dude that approached Yang in the bar does not have silver eyes, as Crow stated,
silver eyes. That's an extremely rare trait.
And as far as we know, only 2 characters within the series have actually had silver eyes, RWBY and her mother.
You're special, RWBY. You're special the same way your mom was.
And no, the woman in the intro doesn't have silver eyes either, and for added measure, Neo doesn't have silver eyes either. That was confirmed to be a program glitch during Volume 2. So aside from this guy getting absolutely wrecked, let me show you how I would have done this scene. And despite the fact that she might appear fine on the surface, I'm really happy that the RWBY included showing off a little bit more of Yang's continuous post-traumatic stress struggles. And shout out to the subtle Archer reference when Yang takes a drink of her water. Team Orange confirmed.
And it's gone!
But at least we got shit-faced Wasted Crow, which was the best part of the episode by far. I love the callback to Ozpin during Volume 1 when Oscar actually mentions RWBY's silver eyes.
You have silver eyes. You have silver eyes.
And now, lightning round mentions of the intro. The intro song is called Triumph by Jeff and Casey Lee Williams and is my favorite intro of the series thus far. An incomplete version is available on YouTube right now with official lyrics provided once again by Flint of RWBY Nation. Link for that will be in the description. I feel like Jean's demeanor on the couch is a small glimpse at how deep his bitterness towards Cinder runs, and I have a feeling that he is going to get severely worse as time goes on until he actually sees her. Upside down boops for the win! Boop. Oscar is my most anticipated character this volume. Watts is into hentai. Fall Maiden versus Spring Maiden, that is gonna be awesome if it happens. Raven has some explaining to do on why it took so long to get those cigarettes. Huh, I guess Sun was right the entire time.
Hey, weren't you in a cult or something? Okay, too soon.
Because this never happened, and this never happened, I'm taking this entire opening sequence with a grain of salt. This better happen. This needs to happen. It appears that Yang's arm is also a gun. And lastly, as a whole, I loved this chapter, and I want to give a special thank you to the RWBY, as well as Montium, for everything that you guys have done, and especially continuing your hard work on this series after so many years. Really looking forward to what you guys are doing in the future, looking forward to the next 13 episodes. I'm just really hyped and excited to get into all of this with the community as well. And with that, that is my TLDR review for RWBY Volume 5 Chapter 1, The First Step, featuring the Yang character short. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully it was as short as I wanted it to be for a TLDR review, but I hope you guys enjoyed nonetheless. Like I said, leave your thoughts in the comments, leave your general feedback for this review format. If there are things that you liked, if there are things that you didn't like, if there's any way that I can improve, all criticism are greatly appreciated. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate your support, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.